Welcome, my name is Gabby Turner. Welcome to your reading. In this pick a card, we are going to be looking at your next adventure, your next big life's adventure. What's in store for you, and we'll get some advice and some insight into both the challenges and the opportunities. And we have 3 groups here, and each of these is represented by one of my spell potions, which I'm selling on my Etsy shop. You can find the link to that below. So group number 1, your reading is brought to you by this Align and Manifest potion. This can help you to just bring more power to your manifestation abilities in general. You can also take this potion as you're focusing on a specific outcome that you're trying to manifest, or life experience that you're trying to manifest. Maybe it is your next big adventure, who knows. Group number 2, your reading is brought to you by this Luna love spell. Now obviously this is a love spell potion, so you're going to drink it with those sorts of intentions in mind. You can put in whatever specific intentions you want. I think with love spells it's better to open it up to the universe, with any spell really. How can the universe bring me the best possible outcome here, whether it's in love or whatever other type of potion or spell that we're using. And group number 3, your reading is brought to you by this I Belong. So if you feel like an outcast, an outsider, someone who never quite fits in, or you just can't find your people, like, where are my people? Why do I not feel this sense of belonging? So I've designed this spell potion for that intention in mind. And again, you've got to open it up to the universe, for the universe to allow you to bring you those blessings in the best possible way, with the best possible outcome that can be woven into the beautiful universal tapestry that is already in the act of creation. So your manifestations, your spell outcomes have to be able to weave into the greater good in some way. So those are the 3 options. Again, you can check out my Etsy shop and purchase any of these or my other magical items, or even tarot readings on my Etsy shop. And with that said, we're going to go ahead and get into your readings. You can just use those timestamps below. Hello, group 1. You chose the Align and Manifest spell potion. So first I'm going to be looking at these crystal cards and just sort of intuitively getting a feel for what this next big adventure entails. So I do feel there's something here about stability, peace, and calmness. Now, we don't normally think of adventure as having to do with those things necessarily, but sometimes we need to go through a phase of life where it sort of clears our mind and it clears our energy and grounds us to the present moment with a feeling of mindfulness, so that we can proceed better in life. We don't want to be scattered. We don't want to be stressed all the time, right? So this is an adventure that is calming, it is soothing, and I feel that it gets you in touch with a more serene aspect of your soul. Sometimes when we think of soulfulness, the dark night of the soul, things like that, we think of the more deeper and intense, like emotionally intense and almost sort of brooding aspects of the soul, which is the more feminine aspect, whereas the spirit, it enlivens us and invigorates us, and that's the more masculine aspect. And both of these are necessary. They are the yin and yang to each other. But here, I feel like we're going into a part of the soul which is about calmness, the coolness, the calmness. Like if you went into a deep, dark cave, yeah, there's a sense of mystery in a cave. It's a little, can be a little bit unnerving to be in a cave because you can't see very well, right? But it's very calm, it's very cool. We might hear some gentle sounds of trickling water within the cave, right? So this is the part of your soul that I think that this adventure is helping you to tap into. So let's look at your tarot cards here. This is from the Star Power Tarot deck. The first card is going to represent the adventure itself. Okay, and we have the 5 of Pentacles. Some give more. So I feel, again, this adventure is helping you to move past those things that have been emotionally intense, but in an unsettling sort of way. So how can you use those to bring you greater peace and greater serenity? This is making me think of I can't think of her name right now, but there's a singer. She has I think on her album cover, she has these stickers on her tongue like this. And she sings a lot about heartbreak and like relationship dynamics that definitely didn't make her feel good. If you know who I'm talking about, please mention her name below. I'm sorry, my brain is just like that. But it's like, how can you take that and make it into a cooling, calming, serene energy? This is what this adventure that you're going on is doing. And she did that with her own life, right? She improved her life by making art out of those difficult emotional experiences. So, I mean, there are many ways that you can go about doing it, but you're going to be learning how to move past that emotional turmoil into a place where you feel more calm and serene. So what are the obstacles along the way? We have the Ace of Pentacles. So with the Ace of Pentacles as an obstacle here, I would say that sometimes you may not feel like you have the resources or support that you need. Maybe you need help with this, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest in order to get to this calmer and cooler place. I also feel, we have these arms, like, seems like it's reaching into this deeper, darker, but cool and serene part of the soul. And it's like, okay, I'm not used to this part of myself. I'm not acquainted with this little swirl. It's like entering a different dimension almost. I feel that, for one thing, there is a need to maybe embrace the esoteric realms or esoteric knowledge, esoteric means of connecting with your soul, and it may be challenging to do so. To sit quietly with yourself and search for those deep, calm, cool parts of yourself is not necessarily going to be easy to do. And even when you do, you see these claw hands that are all like tensed up. It's like there's the tension of what you've been through and the emotional turmoil you've been through so far is also making this a bit more difficult for you. So that is the challenge. But it's not a challenge that you can't overcome, right? You can find that dimensional portal into that part of yourself, and you can get to that more serene place. What are the opportunities? Oh, the Star. Yeah, so I feel like you'll find a certain sort of magical quality within yourself that you never knew existed because you hadn't tapped into it yet, right? And you'll understand really what's truly special about yourself. And this is a specialness that isn't about the ego. This is a specialness that you don't even have to tell other people about. It doesn't matter. That's the important part of it here, is like, it doesn't really even matter if other people know or not. It can stay in that dark little cave, serene, cool, comforting, somehow, cave of yourself, because you can tap into it. It can be like a quiet place you go to within yourself where you can sort of rejuvenate and know, like, I am truly special. Like every star in our galaxy and every galaxy in the universe, every star is special and unique. A star isn't just a star. A star is very unique and has its own particular qualities. So this is about self-awareness as well as you building up your self-esteem in a way that is not attached to the ego. It doesn't matter what other people think of me. It doesn't matter, because I know what I think of myself, and I know what I know to be true of myself because I've reached the deepest levels of truth within myself. So finally, not finally, we have two more cards here. What is the guidance, the best way to proceed with this journey? We have the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, for one thing, likes to take a risk. And put themselves out there. So yeah, there is an aspect, I know I just said it isn't about the ego, but like in this finding what is so special about you, there is still a benefit of putting it out there. But it isn't about, again, you have to be able to separate it from other people's opinions of me define who I am. Because other people's opinions of you absolutely do not define who you are. You have to know that for yourself. But when you do know that for yourself, you will shine. There will be an audience. There will be people who also want to see this sort of emanating light that comes from you. And some of that emanating light has to do with your darkness, right? You're putting your darkness on display a little bit, but not for you to get some sort of ego boost or ego validation, because that's very shallow and empty and it doesn't last. This is about you just knowing this is special. Other people can relate to what I'm going through. Other people can relate to my experiences. And this could even be just opening up to other people more. For some of you, it could be, presenting yourself on stage, or like publishing something that you've written, or, making a blog or something like that. But it's about you understanding that deep, dark part of yourself is beautiful, and showing to other people, not from an ego-based place, but showing other people, this is who I really am, and I love all of me. So what will the outcome be for you if you take this adventure? The Page of Cups. Well, you're going to have fun, and I think you're going to form a lot more connections with other people, and this is that bright, serene energy. Look, there's beautiful pastels and this light blue. Like, you knowing who you are connects you also to the right kinds of people, like people who truly align with you. So you're going to be making friends. You're going to have a better network of people around you who get you, but they're also unique in and of themselves, and you can all appreciate you. It's almost like you're finding which constellation you belong to as this star. So I think that was a beautiful reading. I hope that it was helpful and potent for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Group 2, welcome to your reading. You chose this Luna Love Spell potion. And I'm going to first look at these crystal cards, and then we're going to tap into the tarot reading to see more about your big adventure. So the first, I'm going to kind of just intuitively read the energy that I'm getting from these crystals about what your adventure has to do with and what impact it's supposed to make. First of all, this is something that's about the world at large. And I'm thinking this because this looks like the globe almost. Let me see which stone this is. Chrysocolla, be your own mama. Yeah, so it might be connecting to Mother Earth in some way, but understanding that you have some sort of important role in the world that does, whether you see it or not, via the butterfly effect or whatever, like all of us, all of our lives have an impact that is much greater than we realize. And you don't necessarily have to realize that impact, although this adventure you're going on might help you to realize it. But I think more importantly, it helps you to kind of stabilize and understand what role or function you play. Like, you have practical gifts and talents, resources perhaps even, that you can use to contribute to the greater good that brings good into the world. And what you also have to bring into the world is some sort of creativity. Like, you have an ability to think outside of the box, and yet you understand that we're living within the constraints of the fabric of the reality that we have, right? This to me is making think like practical fabric of reality. Like, we can't just change the entire fabric of the world, right? There are certain structures in place and whatnot. But you have a creative knack for understanding how things can be changed and improved, right? Like, you could see an empty brick wall on an old rundown warehouse, and you could think, well, this is a place for a beautiful mural that inspires people. Now, that's just an example, because I think this adventure is going to give you an idea of your particular journey. Your journey is unique to you. But you're going to be finding ways of bringing beauty and inspiration into the world in some way. That's what I feel from these crystal cards. Now let's move on and look at your tarot cards. So the first tarot card here is going to indicate what is the adventure itself. The Three of Wands. Yeah, that has to do with like inspiration and Just putting something out there and seeing what sticks. In the traditional Rider-Waite version, a merchant is putting 3 ships out with their goods. Now, you never know when you put yourself out there where you do something. Let's say you create, just as an example, this beautiful inspirational mural, right? Are people going to like it? Are they not going to like it? But you have to do something with your life and just see what the results are. This adventure helps you to learn to take those chances, to take those risks, and to say, you know what, this is a good thing. I'm going to do this good thing because I feel pretty positive that this good thing is going to have good results, and it's not likely to have really horrible results. And even if it does have bad results, I can deal with it. Like, there's a sense of optimism with the 3 of Wands. And there's also this ability to think outside of the box and understand what you have to put out there into the world. We also have the number 3, which has to do with creativity, fertility. We don't have to take fertility literally. It's really just about understanding that things can grow from the efforts that we put out there. From the visions that we have, we can make something concrete and real. We can manifest. This is like ultimate manifestation. This adventure is about manifesting good into the world. So what's an obstacle or challenge you would face on this journey? Temperance. The first thing I'm getting from this card is that maybe you're really great at brainstorming. She's like literally got multiple brains that she's holding out. You're really great at brainstorming because you have such a beautiful heart, and all of these ideas, they come from your heart, and so they're so special and full of love. But we have to choose, right? We can't put everything out there, or we can't do everything all at once. So brainstorming, this isn't even like a bad challenge, right? You're an excellent brainstormer, but you have to pick and choose. And that might be tough for you because you might want to choose all of the ideas that come to your head. But you're going to have to narrow it down and be so grateful that you have, so many ideas going on. That's not a bad challenge. So what are the blessings or opportunities? The 8 of Cups. Interesting. Well, the opportunity is that you do get to let some of these ideas go, or I think more importantly, some of these ideas are things you can just do for yourself, right? You might have an idea for something that would benefit the world, and really it's better just for it to be for you. Like maybe you write some beautiful poems. Those don't have to go out to the world. They can just be something special for you, or you do a little art project to decorate your space. There's so much for you to do on this journey that is really about you learning that when you take care of yourself and what you do that enriches your own life and your own experience, it still has that butterfly effect. Everything doesn't have to be for other people, and I know you're a very loving soul. You want to bless the world, and you do, but this is also a way of blessing the world. And so that's going to be a wonderful opportunity that you find on this journey. You're going to learn more and more how to do that. And when we beautify our own souls and beautify our own lives, we have more to give other people as well. I think I'm going to choose a clarifier for this. Okay, we have the 10 of Cups. Yeah. So a blessing or an opportunity here is you just being happier, and feeling more at home with yourself. Like you going out in the world and doing these things, like let's say the mural again. It's like when you come back to your own space, like the mural isn't in your own space, but like these things go back and forth. They affect each other. It's like you just feel good about what you've done with your day, and you can kick back and relax. And vice versa, when you improve your own life at home through doing things for yourself, well, whether you're at home or wherever, going to the gym, going for a stroll in the park, or sitting under a tree and reading a book because you just love that book, whatever you're doing for yourself that makes you happy and well, it's it's a ping pong effect. It makes you more excited and more capable of getting out there and doing things that have a positive impact on the people around you and the people in the world as well. So the next card represents advice. The Ace of Wands is sort of like seize the day, right? Understand that you have a magic wand, whether you literally have a magic wand or not, girl, guy, whoever you are, you got a magic wand. This almost looks like, I think it is like an aerial view here of a landscape. It's like your impact is more vast than what you think. Like you're the one who can set off a domino that creates a whole domino effect that can affect a whole city, a whole state, a whole nation, a whole world. You have that vision. You have that vision, and the advice is simply to use your vision. Get out there and do it. I feel like you're already gung-ho about this anyway. You probably already are doing this, but like there's some sort of bigger adventure coming up for you. And if you haven't, well, this is your cue to get out there and start. So what's going to be the outcome of you taking this adventure, this journey? We have a Nine of Pentacles. I just feel you being so at peace with yourself and comfortable in your own skin, knowing your worth, knowing your value. I am a high value person. The world is made better because of my place in the world, and I have a place in the world, and I make my way in the world. I am significant. Beautiful. This beautiful sense of self-worth and understanding the tremendous value that you have and that you're sharing with the world. So group 2, I really hope that you enjoyed that reading. I thought it was a great one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. All right, group 3, welcome to your reading. I'm going to start off with just sort of intuitively interpreting these crystal cards, and then we'll get into your tarot to learn more about your adventurous journey ahead. So what I first get with these crystals is a sort of like getting to the point. Like, let's stop beating around the bush. Let's stop procrastinating. Like, let's be busy doing things that make us feel happy, doing things that make us feel good, that make other people feel good, like being active. I think it's a journey into like an adventure of being active, getting out there. This feels like being out of your house more often. But when you are at home, like planning big adventures, you know, I think for you guys, these are definitely like multiple adventures that I see you having, because it's like getting busy, getting active, like doing, but like in a way that doesn't, it's not really burning the candle at both ends. It's like burning the candle brightly and beautifully, you know, like you feel alive, you feel vitalized. So if any of you watching have felt sort of sluggish or unmotivated, like the journey that you're about to go on is pulling you out of that. Like you're getting into a place of like, you know, creating good opportunities for yourself every day, being active and happily engaged in life. So that's what I'm getting first of all from these crystal cards. Let's look into your tarot. So the first card is just going to indicate what is the adventure. The Wheel of Fortune. Like that's basically like what I was describing there. It's like you don't just turn the Wheel of Fortune once, right? You turn it multiple times. Have you ever seen the show Wheel of Fortune? And like more often than not, it lands on something good. Even if it's just $200, which I think is the lowest denomination on Wheel of Fortune, that's still good. And like you might get 20 grand, right? But then occasionally you might get lose a turn or bankrupt. But it's like you're going into a phase of your life where you're like, I am ready to spin the wheel, and then I'm going to spin it again, and I'm going to spin it again. And if I do land on lose a turn or bankrupt, it's like, you know what? I'm happily engaged with life. I'm keeping the wheel turning. I'm keeping my life moving. Like things are happening. This is beautiful. It's just like actively engaged in life, basically. I think the Wheel of Fortune is associated with the planet Jupiter as well. So it's like creating blessings through just like getting out there and doing things. Like, you know, we can always just sit at home and wait for blessings to come, but you're like, I don't think so. I'm going to go find my blessings, and they're going to be everywhere. My blessings are everywhere. So the next card is going to represent challenges or obstacles that you might encounter. So we get the Two of Cups, okay? Normally the Two of Cups is good. What I'm getting from this card, though, is like as you're embarking on the journey, there could be a little bit of a danger of wanting to mimic or imitate what other people are doing that they're finding blessings in, right? So, because we can be influenced by what our friends are doing, or what that cool popular girl is doing, or what you see on social media. But it's like, you got to know what you want to do. Like, embrace the opportunities that you want. Like, what you want may not be what someone else wants, right? So that's the biggest challenge. Like, live your own life. Don't be trying to mirror someone else's life, because that's not going to give you as many blessings. You're going to be landing on lose a turn and bankrupt a little bit more often if you do that. I hope that makes sense. But I feel like as long as you embrace, like, what do I want to do, right? What do you want to do today? You want to go to the movies? You want to go out to a restaurant you've never been to before? You want to take a vacation? You want to start writing the great American novel or the great Hungarian novel or whatever? What do you want to do? You got to do what you want to do, girl, guy, whoever you are, and not what your bestie is doing. That doesn't mean that what your bestie is doing is bad, or what some influencer on social media is doing is bad, but it's like they got to choose what they want for their life. They may or may not be doing that well, even in choosing what is authentic to them. But you have to know what you want out of life and go for it and spin that wheel. So what are the blessings? The blessings are the opportunities you will most get. Out of this journey, we get the 10 of Wands. You're going to have so many opportunities that you don't know what to do with them. I mean, I did talk about having like a busy schedule, so that could, this is your blessing, but it's like, she doesn't have to hold all those candles. That's one of the best messages of the 10 of Wands. It's like, yeah, we're gonna get a lot of opportunities, but we don't have to carry all of those opportunities, right? We can have a lot of spinning plates, and but we can put some of those plates down if we want. So the blessing or the opportunity, I think, is having that wisdom as well, of like knowing when enough is enough. And like, even though this is about like embracing life and being active, like, it's okay to just sit down and smell the flowers, right? She could do that. So that's what the opportunity is, learning to balance those two things. I'm going to clarify this card. 8 of Pentacles, yeah. Like, a blessing is that you will be very busy. Like, there's never a lack of something to do. Look what she's got here. She's got her phone, she's got a camera, she's got a guitar, she's got a book, she's got, I don't even know what that is. She's got yarn, she's got paintbrushes, I think, scissors. I mean, she's got a lot going on. So the opportunity is basically like, you're never going to be bored. You are never, ever, 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 ever going to be bored when you're on this adventure, because there's always something to do. I also feel, because these can be both about work as well. Like, so if some of you are very enterprising, you're trying to create a business, this like taking risks and being busy could also be about like having a very active business, like having lots of clients, getting lots of sales, opportunities for advancement and promotions and things like that as well. So just putting that out there for those of you who are on that kind of path. All right, what is the advice for you? Is going to be this next card. Queen of Swords. I mean, first of all, it's using your intellect, but using your intellect to kind of push yourself to the edge. See what you're capable of. Push yourself. Yeah, I mean, she's like a fire eater, or something, and look what it's doing to her crown chakra. Her crown chakra is just like coming to life. I think I don't know how else to say this. This is knowing your limits, but also pushing the boundaries of your own limits. Kind of like, I'm not a runner, but I have heard that people who run get something called a second wind. But in order to get to that second wind, where you get that next burst of invigoration or whatever, you have to push, right? Push yourself to your limits. So, I mean, you're going to be very busy, but you have to kind of push yourself, basically. Know your limits and maybe push just a skitch past your limits, right? And in doing that, you make your limits further and further, right? You expand your abilities. Okay, and the final card here is just going to be, what's the general outcome of taking this journey? Ooh, girl, the Empress. Some of you definitely are entrepreneurs here, or like trying to move yourself up in the world materially and career-wise, but it's like you are really just manifesting your best life. And this isn't just about money or like doing fun things, but it's like all of it. The Empress has her empire, and it's a beautiful empire because it is the empire that satisfies her deepest and most substantial needs for what she wants out of the world. She knows what she wants, and she gets it. And that's you, Group 3. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.